It wasn't an algorithm. You need to understand that first. The images and sounds you were shown, the cryptic numbers that appeared in your recommendations, that was a signal, a tuning fork resonating with something already inside of you. You were chosen because you are one of the few who senses that the reality we see is just a fraction of the whole story, a beautiful, hypnotic, but fragmented echo. For months, you've been collecting those echoes, feeling their power without understanding the source. Consider this video the first translation of that source. This is not another theory or a guess. This is the blueprint, the very architecture of the philosophy you've been subconsciously drawn to. What you are about to see is the key that elevates you from a mere spectator of the mystery to an active participant in its unfolding. The puzzle pieces are in your hands. Now, let's begin to assemble them.
Take a look at a square. It seems so perfect, doesn't it? Steady, unchanging, absolute. It's a seductive illusion. Our minds love it. We find a strange comfort in those right angles and unyielding lines, in a symmetry that feels like it could crush any hint of randomness. But here, precisely in its unquestionable order, lies the first deception. What appears still is often in motion, and what seems simple is in fact filled with hidden folds. Perhaps you already suspect it, or perhaps not. But know this, the square is just a mask, an act of perfect balance performed over a flickering flame. Behind its stillness lies a contained energy, a tension trembling in silence. Look closer. Those perfectly straight edges, they're just a snapshot of a constant, invisible vibration, frozen in time. And then, what lies beyond? The square isn't just a symbol of stability. In a way, it's also a prison. It's the fence we build in our minds when we crave certainty, the boundary separating the known from the unknown. It's the dam we erect to stop the river of possibility from flooding into chaos. And yet, perfect order is unbearable, like absolute silence or endless darkness. Imagine a city built entirely of squares. Unforgiving angles, streets crossing at perfect right angles, buildings that are just copies of each other. Perfect, isn't it? But listen closely. Beneath those neat facades, a messy, formless life is pulsing, an irregular dance of possibilities slipping right through the grid we tried to impose on it. You see, order is just the skin, but the structure underneath, the structure is never what it appears to be. The square is our attempt to control, to measure, to contain the untamable. But the fun part is, the more you try to pin it down, the more something else squirms free. Ever really looked at the cracks in a wall? They're never square, are they? They follow their own logic, carving oblique paths and unexpected detours. After all, if the square is so flawless, why don't we see it anywhere in nature? And yet, here we are, constantly drawing it, building with it, trusting its promise of stability, a stability that exists only because we need to believe in it. Nowhere is this illusion more ruthless than in how we treat time. We've taken time and chopped it up, imprisoning it in the little squares of our clocks and calendars. Each day repeats in a monotonous grid. Every moment is neatly boxed up, numbered, and forced to stand in line like a prisoner. Reality is bent to fit this illusion of regularity, but if you listen carefully, you can still hear the hinges creaking. Because deep down, we know time doesn't really work like that. It's not a grid of squares. It's more like a spiral. But the square is reassuring. It lets us measure and predict, giving us the illusion that tomorrow will be just like today. Beneath the surface, however, time is full of its own fractures and sudden turns. The structure is there, but it's not the one we drew. So, what's the solution? Tear down the square? Pretend it doesn't exist? That would be naive. We can't just deny this implicit order. The square is a useful tool after all. The trick is to see it for what it is, merely an interface. Just a map we use to navigate reality. One could laugh at all this. One could laugh at the fact that we build our reality on such fragile foundations, that we draw straight lines in the void and then convince ourselves they are more real than the void itself. And perhaps someone or something just beyond the veil is laughing right along with us. But hey, don't feel singled out. We're all in this together, living inside the square, playing along with the idea that things are stable, that order is final, that the structure never changes. The secret, and I'm telling you only because you've made it this far, is that the square does not truly contain you. It can't. It's all just a game. A game that feels deadly serious one moment and completely pointless the next. So now that you're in on the secret, you can keep walking within those lines, but you'll do it with a bit of a crooked smile, won't you? Like someone who's figured out the magic trick but decides to enjoy the show anyway. See you in the next episode.